Kane, how are you today?
I am doing okay, man. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Thanks again for taking the time to talk to us today, especially this early in the morning. I got to ask you right away, what does it feel like to be representing Canada on Survivor?
Big shoes to fill, first of all. I remember watching 41. I was like, oh, I want Erica to win, but please don't win because I want to be the first Canadian. I was like, oh. And then I was like, oh, like, Marianne, come on, don't pull this out. I'm rooting for you, but don't pull this out. And I was like, no. No, yeah. The first thing is I feel that Canadian pressure. Like Canadians have been performing very well on Survivor. So I know I got big shoes to fill, but I also, I'm very excited to represent Canada, be representative of Saskatchewan. I think that, north of the border, there's a lot of hunger for this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm keen. I'm glad I am where I am.
Now, you mentioned, we've had two illustrious past winners, recent winners, since they've, increased the Canadian quota on Survivor. Do you feel the pressure? Is that in the back of your mind when you're heading out there that, you know what, I might have something to live up to, or at least I have to have a decent showing?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like if the pool is so small for Canadian survivors, like regardless of how I do, I'm gonna be in like the group picture for the next little while, right? And so there is that sort of extra visibility, I guess. And it's also funny, I know a lot of people go out there and they're like, should I lie about my profession? I was like, do I have to like lie about my citizenship? Like I didn't think that was gonna happen. But yeah, so no, I absolutely feel that pressure and to at least have a good showing and play this game hard because so few people get to play this show and then even fewer Canadians get the opportunity.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I feel that way. Don't worry. It's not lost on me.
Now, there's Canadians have again recently have done really well at this game. Why do you think that is? Do you think there's anything inherently in our, our culture and our environment or anything that makes us perhaps more successful at Survivor?
I think that, Canada is a huge melting pot. There's all these different types
Yeah,
of people that all come together. And I think that even in Saskatchewan, that's the case. There's lots of different perspectives. And I think that that really helps me and helps, I think, a lot of Canadians to be able to get out there with any combination of
yeah.
people and be able to hit the ground running, be able to make friends. And I think that's one big part of it. I think the other big part of it is winter because we just, I think that Canadians across the board are just hardened more than the Americans. And we get out there and it gets cold in Fiji at night. That winter air blows up and it didn't bother me, as much as I saw it bother my other tribe mates. So I think that, we're a little more hardened. We're a little more able to hit the ground running. And I think that we're just hungry because we just got our shot. And I don't want to be the Canadian that makes them say, maybe we got it wrong. Maybe Canadians shouldn't play this game. So, I'm hungry out there too. I think that's part of it.
Now, obviously, you're cast on the show. You're all ready to go. Did you have any kind of special approach or gameplay or any kind of strategy going into this? Is there things that you definitely wanted to do and things that you like, I've learned my lesson. I am not going to go there.
Yeah, I think that in terms of my strategy, I really went in and I wanted to make friends first and allies second. So when I went in and hit the ground, I just wanted to, talk with people, get to know them, figure out how I interact with them, figure out how, what my role is going to be in this ecosystem that we're creating with each other.
Yeah.
And then once I know that I'm sort of a firm fixture in this tribe, then I can start thinking, who do I want to play with? Who's going to be my ally in this game? So that was sort of my approach was make friends first, make allies second. And then, I had my list of like because the first vote, you never know what's going to happen and you don't have time to build trust with anybody, right?
Right.
So I was like, I knew the big no-nos, like don't look for idols, right? Don't walk away from the group. I respected all those first day rules so that I couldn't to make sure someone wasn't like, yeah, let's just arbitrarily vote Kane for absolutely no reason except for the fact that he's out picking up sticks right now. So I followed some guidelines, yeah.
Now, obviously we're aware of your accomplishments, and you're a lawyer, and you're also, a really good negotiator, as we happen to find out. Did you find that those skills worked well? Like your inherent professional skill set, did that really do you well in Survivor? Because again, we've seen, if you look through the past, a lot of lawyers, it seems to be they either do really, really well or not so good.
Yeah, we're high variance for sure, and there's not much in the middle. I think that the skill set can translate easily, right?
Yeah.
Like you learn about people's skills, you learn about negotiation, you learn about leverage, you learn about identifying people's interests, you learn about all that stuff, and that's something that I could apply. And I think I'm good at building rapport with people. I'm good at building rapport with clients, and then to just figure out, what's the thing between me and this tribe mate that's not going to make them want to vote me out. How do I appear valuable to these people? So I think there's a lot of translatable skills across the board because it's a people profession.
Yeah.
And I think that, but I think that also if you think that that's going to be enough, that's when you do really bad. It's the people who go there and be like, oh, the fact that I'm a lawyer tells me logically that I must win this game. And like those people don't do well. So you also, even though you have the skill set, you got to approach it with humility and just come to the game ready to learn.
Now, before you went out there, did you reach out to anybody, either former survivors? Did you get advice from friends and family? How did that, prepare you to go out when you went out there?
Yeah, no, I didn't talk to any former players. I think that I was, I wanted to really play my way, and
Right.
also you'd never know if they're gonna respond anyways. But no, I kept it clean. I kept my existence secret. But I did have my family, and me and my girlfriend Kat specifically, we really set up a boot camp for myself. Like
Oh, right.
we were binging Survivor, and I was binge Survivor in my day. Don't get me wrong, but like we were like binging Survivor. And we were, we had like I set up a workout routine. We were doing puzzles like crazy. So we would watch a lot of Survivor and just be like, what did this person do right? What did this person do wrong? How do we adapt from that? And just trying to identify sort of the big red or green flags in Survivor play. So we did some analysis, yeah.
Now, Survivor for you this isn't something new. I mean, you've been a fan and watching the show since forever, correct?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And how do you think that's shaped your gameplay? Because again, we have, whether it's Survivor, Big Brother, Amazing Race, whatever, sometimes the super fans again do really well, and other times not so good.
Yeah, I think it's what you do with it. Like I've been a fan for a very long time, like you said. When I was a kid, I'd watch and I was just, fall in love with these players, and it was so much fun. And then as I got older, I sort of started to admire the strategic part of it
Yeah,
and that play, right? And I think what you got to do is you got to look at the game that's established right now, because one thing that's about modern Survivor is all the Survivor players know the like template, right? They know
yeah,
about threat analysis, they know about Jeremy's meat shield strategy, they know about Tony's game, right? And so I think that with that, you can either just try and be a really good player that you've watched, or you
yeah.
can say, how do I adapt to that? How do I build a game here that's going to respond to that? So yeah, no, the super fans who I think go out there and think that they have it all figured out and have their 12 steps to get through Survivor, I don't think that works very well. But I think the people who look at it and say, these are the things I'm going to come across, this is what I might need to adapt my game to, let's just roll with the punches and figure it out. I think those people have a lot of success.
Yeah. Now, here's a question for you. Would you rather win the game and not be a fan favorite, or would you rather lose the game and be a favorite amongst fans? What's more important to you?
I think that right now, I would rather lose and be a fan favorite
Yeah.
because I love this game, and I do. It's so much fun, and I wanted to play it so bad, and I've watched people play it for so long, and what I want is for people to be like, okay, I'm gonna try and emulate Kane's game. I don't know if I can pull it off because that's the Kane Fritzler game, but I'm gonna try my damnedest to do the Kane Fritzler approach. But I think I also have the benefit of my youth, because I feel like if I ever played again and I was like 50, I think I'd be like, let's just get that $1 million and get out of here. So that, yeah.
Now, what qualities, I mean, I ask this of various people, whether again, it's Big Brother Survivor, you know, are there certain people that you gravitate towards? Is there certain people that you don't want to hang out with? Because again, you're going to be stuck with these people 24/7 for quite some time, we hope. So, what people do you gravitate towards, and what people do you like shy away from?
Yeah. I think that, I try and gravitate towards as many different people as I can, obviously. But I think that I really like people with a sense of humor, and I like people who don't take themselves too seriously,
Yeah.
like those are the types of people that I like, who have a lot of humility, who let their guard down. And even when you get to know them, it's like, oh, dang, this person is super awesome and accomplished, but they're not like talking about it through a loud horn,
Yeah.
So those are the types of people that I gravitate towards, just like those humble people who just want to have a good time. So the more abrasive personalities, I feel like I shy away from a little bit.
Now, I read something very interesting about you and researching you. Obviously, you see these books up here,
Mhm.
monster manuals,
Let me
and
see the.
so yeah, I've been playing since I was about 12. My son's into playing. We play also different games now, more AD&D than 5e, to be honest with you, but because that's what I grew up with. If you had to categorize yourself one as a character going into Survivor, who would you be? What would your alignment be? And most of all, do you think the skills from playing Dungeons and Dragons will help you in the game?
Yeah. Oh man. First off, that is the best question I've heard across all interviews. I think that would I would approach the game as paladin,
Right.
multi-class paladin rogue, emphasis on paladin. I want to be able to come forward and be this good guy, and be able to heal people, be able
Yeah.
to be a support character, but I want to have those sneak stats in my back pocket. Like I want to be able to make sure that I can still do those shifty part of the game. But then when they look back at them, and when people try to figure out who did it, all they see is this wonderful paladin, right? So that would be ideal for me. I think that you have to play chaotic.
Yeah.
You just have to. Like you can't play lawful. It just doesn't work. And there's too much going on. And I'll strive for chaotic good, and maybe move down to chaotic neutral, and maybe dip my little toes in chaotic evil if I have to, but I will certainly try not to. And yeah, I think that. So that's my answer. I don't know how many levels you're giving me, but I'd be multi-class for sure. And then I think that D&D really, I think, is I love Dungeons and Dragons, and I think
Yeah.
that one thing it teaches you how to get a group of people together and figure out what the story is.
Yeah.
Figure out the story that everyone is telling together. And as a dungeon master, because I'm primarily a dungeon master,
That's what I would do too. Meet same
yeah,
here.
yeah. And so you get to sort of influence people and tell them what the story is going to be, tell them where they should be going in a way where they still feel like they're leading the story, right? And
Yeah.
so I think that sort of narrative, to be cognizant of the narrative, I think is a huge skill that Dungeons and Dragons taught me, not law school.
Well, I just wanted to say thanks so much for taking the time today. I obviously wish you all the best of luck. And I can't wait to see your journey. And I do hope that somewhere, maybe more than immunity idol, you find that cloak of invisibility. Maybe that'll help you on your journey. But best of luck to you. And I can't wait to watch you on the show.
Thanks so much, John. It's great to talk to you.
Yeah, take care and have a great day.